For sure. And it's hard to tell how long you're going to be in which stage, by the way, because
Mhm.
that is always a question that comes up. Okay, well, how long do I have to do this for? How long am I going to wait to see results? You're going to see results within at least a week, I guarantee you, if you're putting in that work. So that first stage, yeah, it's low histamine, but more than that, it is about creating that safe haven in the body. So yeah, low histamine. It is also low lectin. Lectins are one of the food compounds that trigger your mast cells of your immune system to release more histamine. Oh, did you want to turn the tap on full blast in the sink? I don't think so. So we reduce those foods that do that. It is also nightshade free. For many people, nightshades can be one of those food compounds that triggers the body not feeling safe. It is low mold. Mold has a potential of triggering your mast cells to release more histamine in your body. Huh.
And
Yeah.
mold is very hidden. So we're not talking about visible, obvious mold here. There are a lot of foods that can contain mold that you would never guess.
Like grapes, like
Yeah.
coffee. Don't worry, that's week 4. Don't start there. We also, it is of course gluten-free and dairy-free as well. So if you are currently observing a dairy-free and gluten-free approach, then that continues through the program. And that can do a lot to actually reduce what is potentially contributing when histamine is part of the issue. We have ghee is the only dairy that we do have. We have goat cheese as well at some point. There's such rich nutrients in those foods, but they don't, I mean, ghee is early in the stages, but we bring in the dairy into later stages for, again, the invitation to have as much variety and diversity. Doesn't mean you have to have it in there. No. If you'd rather keep it out because you know for you it is a trigger, then that's actually a really good one to continue keeping off of the table for the time being. So that first stage is about creating that safe haven. The second stage is doing that detective work to now figure out, okay, so we've been doing this for a bit. Now I need to know which foods are triggering symptoms for me. That's where we figure out the deeper compounds, things like oxalates, salicylates, FODMAPs can be some of those issues. That would be things like apples or garlic or onions, if you know that they make you super, super uncomfortable. Or sulfur foods, that can be another one that some people will react to. So there's
Mhm.
different compounds, it depends. That's where we start to do the detective work. And at the same time, we're starting to bring in some of those perhaps not super duper high histamine foods, but a little bit higher histamine than the foods you had in that stage 1. And the reason is we want to start introducing a little bit of those foods so that we can continually challenge this. A long-term low histamine approach has the potential of making somebody nutrient deficient in some very key nutrients. You know, for example, I always use this example, liver is perhaps higher up on the list of histamine, potentially. It is, there's a way to keep it low histamine while it is in process at the butchers, but you can't always guarantee that. But liver itself has some nutrients in it that help address root pieces that
Mhm.
may potentially be behind why your body dumps histamine or doesn't feel safe. So when you nourish for safety with a higher histamine food, you bring that in stage 3, in that third stage where we add in that nutrient density piece. So it is a fine balance that sort of comes and goes to try to work those pieces in, but we get you eating as much as we can, as much diversity and variety as soon as we can, because and the recipes that we share, I think, are really yummy, fairly straightforward to make in a home kitchen. The harder to find ingredients, we do talk in, as Tracy was saying, about where to source those. But the goal is to leave you feeling good and abundant and as if this is like a super fun adventure, because that can do a lot to reduce the stress. And when you, again, reduce the stress, key piece of reducing what's driving potentially the histamine issues.